Hi, I'm William, and on this episode of Weekends with William, we're going to be making our own USB cooling fan. Now, this is relatively cheap and it's easy to make, and it's for all those hot days in spring and or summer. So let's go ahead and make it. So what you're going to need here is you're going to need a 12-volt computer fan. You can get these at electronic stores like RadioShack, either that, or you can go ahead and pull this out of an old broken computer. Like, you can just go to your friend's house and say, hey, you got a broken computer that I can take apart? And they'll probably have one or not. Well, you can probably get these at electronic stores like RadioShack. So, yeah, you can just get these 12-volt computer fan, a USB cable. Now, this is something that you can probably get at the dollar store. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and get this end and keep this end, the end that plugs into your computer, and the end that plugs into your device, you want to go ahead and chop it off and chop off the connector and then splice out the outer coating. And if you've seen my USB things that I've made in the past, you can go ahead and figure out how to do that, so you can go ahead and watch that. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to exactly explain how to do it, just for the sake of time, but anyway. So you want to go ahead and cut it off and splice it, and you're going to get 4 wires inside, and yeah, then you'll need that. You're also going to need some salt, just some normal household salt, and a Tupperware container that's a little bit bigger than your fan, and also you also need some crushed ice in there as well, preferably with some water, or use some snow or something. Yeah, and that's pretty much all you need. So let's get to building. So first thing we want to do is we want to take our USB connector, and we want to go ahead and chop off the white and green wires, because those carry data, and we don't care about that. So anyway, after that's done, you're going to have 2 wires inside, a red and a black wire. That's what you want, and you want to go ahead and strip out the outer casing and twist the wiring inside, and then you'll be done. So after that's done, then you want to go ahead and take this fan, and you want to go ahead, and there should be 2 wires inside. If there's another wire that doesn't look like red or black, just cut it off. So anyway, you're going to have this, and same thing with the USB wires. Go ahead and strip out the outer casing and twist the wiring. And then, after that's done, it's time to do some soldering. Now, you can use a hot glue gun, but I don't recommend it, again, because the connections can come off, and I don't think it's very professional. So again, get some solder, and we're going to go ahead and put these things in a vise. Now, you don't need this vise, it just helps me to go ahead and solder things easier, so it's kind of like another pair of fingers that won't get burned. So anyway, here we go. So turn on my ventilation fan. And there we are, we're going to tin this. Solder the black to black and red to red. Okay, after that's done, then I'm going to go ahead and clean this. Okay. And it should look somewhat like this. And you can go ahead and put some electrical tape in between. Don't touch the red and black together, otherwise it's going to short out and possibly ruin your computer. So you can go ahead and put some tape around that, or I'm not going to just because I don't have any right now. But anyway, so we want to test it next, and we do that by getting a computer, or in my case, this little connector that converts AC into USB. I'm going to plug it in, and hopefully your fan should start to run. And as you can see, it's working, and it's working nice. As you can see, the blades are moving, but this part is critical. Well, not entirely critical, but it's important that you know which way the air is going, otherwise this thing's not going to work. So you want to go ahead and feel which way the air is going. So it's going to suck air out on this end and blow air out on this end. So make an arrow on the direction that goes from here through that way. So you want to go ahead and do that. And after that's done, then we want to go ahead and take our straws, our pieces of straw. We're going to go ahead and make sure that you glue them right. And so here we go. We're going to get our hot glue gun here, and I'm going to go ahead and put some on here. And then after that's done, you put it on these little things on here, or you can put a screw through it, but I want to do this a bit away here. Okay, so then after that's done, you got to repeat it three more times. Okay, that's 2. Okay. So basically it's going to look somewhat like this when you're done. And then it's going to look somewhat like this when you're done. Then after this is done, then you want to get your Tupperware and you want to fill it up with crushed ice. And in order to get it cold, you can fill up with water and then pour in some salt. And the salt here, it's going to reduce the freezing point of it, and it's going to make it melt and even colder. So you can go ahead and mix it in a little if you want to. Or it works better if you have some water. But anyway, the point of this is to make the ice very, very cold, so it cools you down. Then after that's done, well, the salt is optional though, but anyway, you want to go ahead and take your fan and make sure that it's pointing up the right way. Make sure that the arrow is pointing up and place it on there. Make sure there's some spaces in between here so air can get in. And you're done. And then here's the completed unit. Ready to work. And there you go. So, here we are. It's done. Now let's test it. We're going to go ahead and plug it into our computer. And cold air is starting to stream out. And air is going to go in through these little holes, well, not holes, but these little cracks in here. It's going to go through the ice and then up into the fan and into your face and keep you cool during those hot summers. So if you ever wonder how your computer can cool you down, here is the answer. Make a fan that runs on USB power. And this is really simple, easy, and make sure to like this video and favorite it if you want, and add a comment if you want, and make sure to find your inner maker.